Hi everyone, let's begin. Harmonization with this session 100%. Okay, so there's something we need to look into here. Garcia Ennergetics is what we're using to figure out what we need before we can step into the pattern of this energy, if you're interested in this technique with a bit more structure to it. So let's check out... So no issue with us towards the energy, but what about the energy towards us? Also no issue with the energy towards us. So now we delve into some different categories here. This is something that I've been developing and seeing fits into the descriptor and continuation of the pattern of energy when we run into this specific finding with Garcia Ennergetics. It's not something that Hector Garcia does specifically. Let's check out. So I find when this pattern shows up, it tends to be related to one of a few different things. Let's check out holograms, priority holograms. So a holographic thing is going on right now. Is there something more that we need to know about this specific pattern? Wonderful. So hologram in terms of, I have two definitions for hologram as well. So let's go with holographic body, no, versus holographic environment, hologram, right? So part of the situation that we are in, you can think of holograms like, self-fulfilling ideals, things that I believe to be true to the extent that I then perceive them to be true. They start as mental structures that translate into energetic structures that move towards manifesting specific things in the world around us. So we start to look for situations involving blank, whatever the thing is, all the time. Let's look a little bit deeper into this pattern of holographic information. Can we do that at this time? Wonderful. So something to do with relationships, something to do with relationships with other people, yes, something to do with relationships with myself. No. So something to do with relationships with other people, something about people specifically, a specific person, no, but how about a group of people, no, how about just the idea of people. Okay, so the hologram in terms of my idea of people outside of myself. Is that phrase relevant? Okay, so outside of myself is a phrase that is relevant in this situation. So something about the hologram being our perception that the people outside of us are separate from us. Is this true? So something about the background belief system that we've been, well, there are a few different ways holograms can come into our body. So was this something that was already present upon birth? Something that someone or something else placed? No. So something that was sort of a background, ancestrally brought in thing that's coming in for us, of the separation between you and I. Right? There were many periods in time where it was safe for me to not feel connected with my neighbor. Right? But at this point in time, we can live a more spiritually aligned life where, you know, I have healthy boundaries when it's necessary, but I can also notice the interconnectedness and that really everyone in the world is just me having a different experience of life. Same with all of the life on the planet in general. We are one big collective ball of energy that happens to be manifesting itself into these different branched off pieces of what appears to be biological form, which again is a pattern of safety that our neurology has learned to recognize over, you know, however long it took, or however greatness the creation, you know, gave us with our consciousness to be this collective bowl of chemical soup within our brains that can perceive the specific details that we see, right? The reticular formation in the spinal cord is about limiting sensory information coming in so that we can perceive safe, recognizable patterns and grow within our sense of safety and, you know, develop and explore those recognizable patterns, right? But that's also saying that something is being limited. Our perception of reality is constantly being limited by the chemical soup, the makeup that we are, right? And some of that is likely to keep us safe, but also some of that is likely there as an adaptation because it's what we got used to or what our ancestry got used to. So what would be possible if we could open up the lens of our perception a little bit more, if we could turn down the volume on the reticular formation to allow in more information that we have been ignoring because it hasn't been useful, right? So what is useful in this situation? Let's find out. Let's ask a little bit more about that. This hologram that's going on, is there more that we need to know about this at this time? Wonderful. So we landed on all the information that we needed to communicate about this. That's good. There weren't a lot of thoughts going through my mind when I was just talking about what I was talking about. So it's likely that that was part of the packet of information that was dropped down with us. So in terms of what we need to do here, we would need to likely invert, harmonize anything else that we need to do with this hologram. Wonderful. If I knew how to harmonize and invert the energy of this hologram, what would I do? Second attention. Cool. The visual was interesting. It was very blank and very calm for a moment, and then it was almost like I was surrounded by this well, if you've watched The Matrix, the sort of glowing green that they have the text in. It was almost like I was in a room surrounded by a grid of that color, and then that grid, when it was, dealt with in the way that it was, sort of shrunk back behind me, all the way back there into where I would expect the bottom corner of where the wall meets the floor would be in that room, and it shrunk away and blipped into not being there anymore. Well, let's check out, is this true? Did this hologram actually relieve itself from our energy field? Wonderful. So in this case, harmonization with this session 100%, going both ways. Good. So let's check into, is there more that we need to see in this pattern of light and information? Okay, so there's more that we can perceive here. Do we need a specific technique? No, so something with a little less structure now. So let's go into our in-deep practices. Something over here. Definitely in the field around the body. It's not a line, it's a shape. Although it's kind of plasmoid. Almost like a sphere here. But it's sort of wispy, smoky at the end. Like a comet. Here, get out of the way. And it swirled around my body, and now it's kind of circling in the center of my head. Donuts in the center of my head, moving in this counterclockwise direction off to the left. Dropping down through my spinal column, and it's landing at my tailbone, and it's going off sort of like a sprinkler firework. And it's creating a movement of energy that's getting stuck. Getting stuck just below the navel, so an energy block between my root and my sacral chakra. Is there more that we need to know? No. Hold and send to the light. Okay, wonderful. So let's remove that energy block. There's a good grab on it. There's a good hold. Oh God, I surrender all of this energy unto you. brought up some emotional energies. Just things that have been needing to be processed for a while. Nothing stuck. Do we need to know anything more about this? No, nothing stuck that we need to know about, or if it is something, then it's something that you already know about. It's something personal to your lifetime in this case, that's been stuck and prohibited by this blockage that's been present since you came into this lifetime. It was an ancestral inheritance, the hologram, that led into this energetic blockage. And this energetic blockage likely prevented certain emotions from being processed, but those emotions will be individual to you. Now that that blockage is removed, the pathway of the flow of your energy should be more clear, and emotions may be coming up throughout the day. It shouldn't last more than 24 hours, but if you need to take a moment to excuse yourself from whatever you're doing and give your emotions the attention that they want, I would recommend that for you. When we go into these sorts of situations of relieving energetic blockages or even releasing emotions, and they don't release in the moment, sometimes they'll release later. Sometimes they release, when we're asleep and we're unconscious, and that's fine too. But if an emotion is coming up and you're feeling it, it's coming up and you're feeling it because it wants to be seen by you. Think of it like the childhood version of you inside of yourself is pulling on your pant leg for a moment and saying, hey, I feel this. Is that okay? And usually what we do in day-to-day life when that happens is we go, hang on, I'll go fix it for you. Let me go blah, 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 blah. And then do all the stuff to try to repair this thing that's making us feel the way that we're feeling. When really what needs to happen is an emotion needs to be processed. And how can an emotion be processed? It can be processed by you sitting with it and experiencing it and letting it be there. And when you do that, the emotion can peak. And when the emotion can peak, it can then end, right? So if you feel any emotions coming up today, I encourage you to listen to the little kid inside of you who's saying, I feel scared, I feel sad, I feel hurt, I feel traumatized, and sit with them and say, it's okay, I'm here with you. Feel everything that you need to feel. Until they're done. Wonderful. Is there anything more that we need to know today? Is this session complete? Wonderful. I hope that served you well. I'll see you next time.